Hello, Monkeyminders. Who's up for a quiet story at bedtime? If you are, get comfy cozy, and here we go. There once was a girl who lived near a forest where the trees were so tall they looked like they touched the sky and held it in place. It was the kind of forest that didn't feel loud, but it felt full of age, full of knowing, full of things that couldn't be explained. One morning, just after dawn, the girl slipped through the back gate of her home and padded barefoot down the trail. The air was soft and a little cool, and a mist clung to the ground like breath yet unspoken. She walked deeper into the woods, past blackberry bushes and soft moss, until she reached the oldest tree she knew, a giant cedar with a wide base and branches that stretched like slow arms into the sky. The bark was rough and scarred with age, and it smelt like rain and warm earth. She had visited the tree many times before. She had sat by its roots and pressed her ear to its trunk and made wishes in its shade. But this time, she came with a question. A real one. She sat cross-legged at the base of the cedar, tucked her hands into her lap, and whispered, "Tell me something wise." The forest was quiet, the kind of quiet where you could hear your own blinking. The tree said nothing, and she waited. And a bird called out far away and then went quiet again. A squirrel darted across a fallen log, but didn't come anywhere near. And she stayed where she was, back straight, breath slow, eyes wide, watching the space between the branches. The light shifted. Time passed in the slow way it does when you stop trying to fill it. And still, the tree didn't speak. But something else began to happen. A breeze stirred the top branches. A few leaves let go and spiraled down through the air, landing silently around her. A pine cone fell nearby with a soft thud, and a beetle crawled past her toes. And a drop of dew slid off a fern and disappeared into the moss. The girl began to notice her own breath, slow and steady. She began to feel the cool soil beneath her feet, and she began to hear the pulse of the forest again. Not loud, not even in words, but in rhythm. She didn't ask the question again. She didn't need to. After a long while, she smiled. Just a small smile, but it's one that reached right into the heart of her. And she stood up and she brushed herself off, and she placed her palm gently on the cedar's bark. "Thank you," she said. The tree still said nothing. But it didn't need to, because sometimes the answer isn't in the sound. Sometimes, my friends, it's in the stillness. Sometimes the wisest thing isn't spoken at all. Sometimes just sitting and paying attention is enough. And sometimes that is the answer. Go softly on.